Hi, everyone, and welcome to the weekly wrap up, a teeny tiny little show where I share my personal choice of top 5 educational tweets from the past week. Why? Because Twitter is a goldmine of tips, hacks, and info, all freely shared by generous educators. If you don't have a personal learning network, or if you're a little wary of Twitter, please allow me to be your guide because social media isn't for everybody, and frankly, you're just super busy. So I'm more than happy to curate good things for you. Now let's get to it with the top 5 tweets from the past week in no particular order. Okay, so you know what grosses me out? A saturated sponge left in the sink, sloppily sitting there, unsqueezed and overfull. Not a pretty picture, admittedly, but now think about that same sponge as a student's brain. We call that cognitive overload, an avalanche of new information that can lead to a near shutdown of a kiddo's thinking capacity. Instead of overwhelming students with too much information at once, Eastern Carolina University college professor Todd Finley suggests chunking information into smaller, more digestible fragments that are easier to retain in short-term memory. If you click on his tweet, you'll see a handy infographic of Todd's latest brain blast. Yes, there's a series with 7 clear chunking strategies, and they're so incredibly easy to implement. Follow Todd for more of his brain blasts. Your students and their brains will thank you. It's February, which means it's Black History Month. And if you're looking for resources that are not only informative, engaging, and also help students exercise their technology muscles, do what 5-star Tech PD Associate Director Katie Bradford suggests and head on over to Google for Education's Applied Digital Skills site and take a look at their lesson collection titled Celebrate Black History, Culture, and Identity. There are 8 lessons from which to choose, and students can explore the importance of Black history, express their identity, and celebrate the contribution of African Americans throughout history. Click the link in Katie's tweet to learn more. As I've mentioned before, I'm a former high school English teacher, and one of the most difficult in a tearing out my hair kind of way aspects of teaching was getting students to dig deep and discuss in a meaningful way what they'd read. So, middle school teacher Emma Cotier, I hope I said that correctly, devised an innovative way to make it easy and fun for students and teachers with her reading roulette idea. Students roll the dice and, depending on the roll, choose a chat topic. No more one size fits all approach to lit circles and discussions. Be sure to click on the link in the tweet to grab your own copy of the result of a lot of hard work on Emma's part. Okay, Wordle alert. Yes, I religiously play it every morning. No, I don't tweet out my scores, but I do rub them in my fiance's face. I don't encourage you to imitate my poor behavior, but I do ask you to check out this tweet from social studies teacher Dominic Helmstetter, another Buckeye. Woo, OH. Here he quote tweets a post from Shannon McClintock Miller sharing a link to create a custom Wordle. Dominic's brilliant idea was to have his students make these exit ticket like reviews for each other based on what they learn. And way more fun, and I'm sure way more engaging than study guides. You'll find a template from Dominic in the comments section of his tweet, so check it out. And finally, I've been asked to highlight some good Phys Ed tweets when I find them, so here you go. Cliff Roop, whose Twitter bio reads, Phys Ed with a Purpose, love it, shares an amazing resource for those of you seeking out creative ideas for your own kiddos. Cliff shares a link to what I guess I'd call an index of Twitter Phys Ed posts curated by fellow educator Spencer Barfus, who is also worth a follow. If you click on the link in Cliff's post, you'll access a blog post he wrote about the source and how to use it to customize your own lessons. And that's it, the top 5 finds on Twitter from the past week. I hope you find them useful for your teacher life. Links from today's show are below. Feel free to share this video with your colleagues or to use in teacher-based teams and faculty meetings. If you need anything in the way of free coaching or micro-learning opportunities like this one, please don't hesitate to reach out and or check out my contact info in the show notes. Ugh. I'm Stephanie DeMichael, a learning designer and instructional coach with the Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. I will see you next week.